Namaste Om Coven, welcome back to the mat and welcome to a brand new practice. It is the big one today, which is today we are celebrating and honouring the power of Samhain, also known as Halloween. So today the veil between the spiritual and the physical world is at its thinnest. This is a time where we look into the darkness without fear. Hello, sweet thing. We look into the darkness without any fear, without any kind of judgment. Instead, starting to find a little bit of bravery as we allow things that no longer serve us to die away, like autumn leaves, and we start to kind of question what we're going to put in its place, like planting bulbs for spring. So in today's practice, we're going to work through a yin and restorative yoga flow, working with 5 journal prompts that are going to come up onto the screen so we can do a little bit of mini shadow work. Now, in addition to today's flow, I've also invited you to perform a kind of banishment spell. Now, the banishment spell, as I said in the email, is all with good intention. So we're just letting something go between maybe another person, between maybe a situation, maybe between yourself and an emotion, etc., etc. So if you've done the spell already or you prepared your candles, you can bring them to the mat here and light them during your practice, during your shadow work. Or, as always, you're welcome to do your journal prompts afterwards and you're welcome to do your spell afterwards. But if you have got your candles here, we're going to begin by lighting them now. Beautiful. And then we're going to move into the practice straight away by coming to a beautiful supported fish pose. So finding your blocks, finding your bolster, or just working with the blocks. We're going to come to lie all the way down, taking a quick sip of my magical tea to help save my cold. Ooh. Oh, that's a lot of ginger. And then coming comfortably, you're going to bring the base of the spine to the base of the bolster, roll the shoulders back and extend the legs here. So it's quite a strange way to start off our Samhain practice, but we need to open up that heart. We need to release those emotions in order to connect with our shadow work. And then from here, we take a deep breath in through the nose. And slow breath all the way out. If you recognize that straight away you're starting to have an accelerated heartbeat, that is okay, or a sense of breathlessness, that is okay, that is completely normal. Just focus on slowing it down. Your inhales with your exhales. Starting to feel that breath slow down now the longer we've stayed here. Maybe starting to feel really spiritually attuned today with your witchcraft practice, with your journey both on the mat and off the mat. And just feel gratitude to you for coming here today, So taking this time to delve a little bit into the shadow work. Now the darkness can be frightening, especially as we are in the darker months. Many of us don't like autumn or winter, and that's absolutely fine if you don't. Today we are looking to overcome that sense of fear. Become still, gaze into the darkness, listen to what the darkness is trying to tell us. So we know what to release, what to let die, so we may evolve and we may grow as witches, as humans, as yogis. So when you're ready from here, we inhale and we exhale. To move out of our supported fish pose, we're gently going to bend the knees, flip the palms down to the mat and immediately roll the body up. Give the knees a cuddle here, relax the shoulders, relax the head, coming into a gorgeous angel pose. So just giving ourselves a little bit of self-love, especially if any emotions arose during our back bend. If any emotions have arose during today, during Samhain. And then when you're ready, we're going to move to Baddha Konasana, butterfly legs, by bringing the bottom of the feet to touch. Wiggle onto the sit bones, reaching round to find your block, your bolster, or your pillow. We're going to place it onto the lap or maybe onto the ankles and begin to forward fold. When you're ready from here, the first journal prompt is going to come up onto the screen. Maybe you choose to answer it now. Maybe you choose to answer it at the end of your practice, whatever feels comfortable to you. But tune into yourselves, gaze towards the darkness, be as honest and as raw as possible. 3 minutes here in Baddha Konasana. Remembering, even if you're answering your journal question right now, keep stretching the body forwards to really open up the hips. Ten more breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. all together, Coven. We inhale. And we exhale. If you need longer on your journal prompt, then I invite you to take the time here. If you're ready to come out with me, roll the body up, and we're going to move the bolster to one side for now. Coming back to it in a moment, we gently bring the knees to touch and begin to take some windscreen wipers from left to right. Beautiful. Before we allow the knees to fall all the way over to the left hand side, moving those blocks out of the way for just a moment, we're going to come in to a supported twist. So really connecting with that side body, we wiggle that bolster in to the top of the left hip. Hands come to frame it as we inhale, find length. On your exhale, gaze is going to float over to the right hand side. Just take my mic off for a moment so it doesn't affect the sound. We've relaxed the body all the way down. Take as much shuffles as you need to get comfortable on your block, on your pillows, on your bolster. Bringing in that sense of relaxation to Samhain. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and a slow breath out. Slowing down your breath here, just let go. Let go of any stress, any worries, any tension you're holding on to. For the final 10 breaths, you're welcome to stay here, resting on your bolster, or you're welcome to lift up and move that bolster aside, still staying in your twist, just intensifying it here. 10 more breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. All together, we inhale and we exhale. On your next breath, Coven, press into the hands, whether or not you're lying on the bolster, lying on the floor, and we lift the body all the way up, sending right hand towards the back of the mat. Pull left arm up and overhead, taking a side body stretch. We hold for 3, We hold 2 and 1. Roll the body up, and we're simply going to move the knees through center. Take them over to the right hand side and wiggle that bolster back underneath us. So the bolster sits on that right hip, and then we take our gaze to the left hand side. Taking as much wiggles as you need to get comfortable here. It'll naturally feel a little bit strange just because we spent so long on the other side. Before we relax ourselves down. The bolster was the best invention in yoga ever. I swear to Christ. Staying here for a few minutes, breathing in through the nose and breathing out. One more minute. If you'd like to intensify the stretch for the final minute, you can move the bolster to one side and come to lie all the way down. Before all together, we inhale and we exhale. On your next breath on Coven, we're gently going to begin to lift the body up on your hands, using the bolster, anything at all. And we're going to find that side body stretch by reaching left hand towards the back of the mat. Pull right arm up and overhead, holding for 3. Holding for 2. And 1. Gently bring the right hand down. And we're going to find our way into a tabletop position, taking the strange little cat-cow stretch that we did a couple of weeks ago. We're going to walk those hands over to the right hand side and start to take some cat-cow. So inhale, drop the chest. Exhale to curve. Ooh, my rope is going to go any minute now. Remembering, if you're working with that candle magic right now, please keep an eye on the flame. Walk the hands through center. Take that little wiggle over to the left hand side, sorry. before we inhale, come back into the center, taking a few wiggles here, inhaling to drop the chest. Exhale to give. When you're ready from here, Coven, we're going to bring that spine to a neutral position and we're going to move into our deer pose. So we're going to slide left knee to left wrist and wiggle that foot over, coming to sit onto the sit bone. So what we're going to do is move those legs into a 90 degree position. So bring left knee into alignment with the hip, bring right knee into alignment with the hip, knee in alignment with the ankle. And from here, keeping our weight centered, working with any blocks, any bolsters, you can begin to forward fold. So like I said, you want to keep the weight centered, it's not falling over to one side. It is a little bit tight sometimes in that glute. It's a really gorgeous yin yoga pose. So get yourself as comfortable as possible, and when you're ready from here, journal prompt 2 is going to pop up onto the screen. Answer it in your mind. Answer it a little bit later on. Answer it now. The choice is yours. But get yourselves comfortable as we stay here for a few minutes. Breathing in through the nose and out. Keep an eye on that body. We don't want to let it fall over to the left-hand side. Two more minutes. Remembering at any point you're welcome to move that bolster out of the way. All together, Coven, we inhale and we exhale. If you need longer on your journal prompt, you're welcome to take your time now. If you want to come and take this deer pose to the other side, or use the bolster, the earth to help lift the body. And then, avoiding all flames, we bring knees through center and find our deer pose to the other side, sliding that bolster, that block, anything you're working with, and shuffle the body away from the flame and into deer pose to the other side, ensuring that that ankle is in line with the knee, knee is in line with the ankle, same with the left leg. Keeping your weight centered, not falling to the right hand side. This time, the third journal prompt is going to pop up onto the screen. You know the drill. I'm just going to meditate to the view of my little candle magic here, my little banishment spell. Feeling that sense of freedom come over me. A few minutes here. As it is so, I let it go. Two more minutes. Keep your weight centered. If you need longer, I invite you to stay here. If you're ready to gently move out with me, oh, my right hip, you're gently going to press the hands to mat, lift the body up, avoiding all flames. Take the hands behind the back, and we simply make some windscreen wiper movements with those legs to ease out any tension going on. Oh, that is an intense pose. Moving from one side to another. Beautiful. Before we gently roll the bolster to one side, roll over the knees and come first to a tabletop position. And from tabletop, we're going to transition into our Sphinx pose, a little back bend by relaxing forearms to the mat. Lower the hips down and send the toes to the corners of your mat. Getting yourself settled here, maybe bring that journal book in front of you, maybe answering in your mind as we move in to the fourth journal prompt. Being as honest, as true as possible. Giving ourselves a few minutes here. Opening up our heart chakra here, connecting with those emotions of Samhain, of Halloween, of this thin veil between the spiritual world and the physical world. Connecting with our inner darkness. One more minute. Before all together we inhale and we exhale. Gently sliding one hand on top of another, we're going to press the palms to the mat, lift the elbows up and come to relax all the way down. Bring the big toes to touch and meet me in crocodile pose just to release that lower spine. Transitioning from our gorgeous little crocodile pose to one of my favourite yin poses, needle, cat pulling its tail pose, completely forgot its name then. Breathe gently, going to lift the head onto the right hand, slide left knee into alignment with the hip, roll left shoulder away from us, take hold of the foot and begin to roll the body back, coming to rest on a block, a bolster, a blanket, but almost like a little bit of a pretzel shape going on here. Getting yourself as comfortable as possible, connecting with that solar plexus chakra, a little bit of fire. I absolutely love this pose. Once again, giving ourselves a few minutes here. The longer we stay here, the more our body melts into the pose. So imagine you're really trying to bring that left shoulder back towards the mat. Keep breathing down to the belly, Kevin. One more minute. together. We inhale and we exhale. With control, gently relax the back leg down and then roll the body on to the chest. Sending left leg by right. Come to lie in crocodile pose just for 10 breaths, just to release that spine. It is quite an intense stretch here. Recognizing any emotions come up. Maybe recognizing, like me, you're about to fall asleep. Before we take it to the other side, by lifting the body up, we're going to bring left hand. I really want to avoid burning myself. We're going to bring left hand, take a hold of the head, slide right knee into alignment with the hip, reach back to take hold of the left foot, and drop the body all the way back, coming into your twist. Maybe recognizing if one side of the body is more responsive to this pose than the other, or a little bit more open, etc. But giving ourselves a few minutes here, connecting with that air element, connecting with the breath. One more minute here. Before all together, we inhale and we exhale. Gently relax one leg. Roll the body onto the chest and come all the way flat. Bring in the big toes to touch. Heels fall to one side, meet in a crocodile pose. before we gently slide the hands to the mat. Inhale to find upward facing dog. Open up the heart. On your exhale, moving to a rabbit pose, we're going to bring the knees to touch. Tuck the toes under, send either the top of the head to the mat or bring the forehead to the mat and reach the arms down by your side. Balancing out from these back bends, stretching out the feet, maybe rolling the forehead from left to right. Ten more breaths here. At any point, you are welcome to untuck the toes. Inhale. And exhale to come back to the forehead. Bring the hands to the mat. And this time, we're going to slide the hands gently back to the knees, keeping the big toes touching. We take the knees as far as the mat and come on to the forearms, either coming into a child's pose, or if you are answering your journal prompts, the final journal prompt is going to pop up onto the screen now. So just stretching out the lower body, taking your journal prompt on your forearms, answering in your mind. Choice is yours. So we come to take child's pose for 2 minutes. Being as honest and as true and as raw as possible for the final prompt. If you need longer on your prompt, I invite you to press pause here. If you're ready to come out with me, walk the hands forward, press the palms to the mat and roll the body in to tabletop, crossing the ankles behind you. Immediately move to seated, and we're going to send the legs forwards, just easing out from the lower body stretch. Oh, I'm sleepy. We are going to take shoelace pose. So you're going to cross right leg on top of the left, maybe stacking right knee on top of the left here, if that is your body's boundaries, or lean to the left hand side, wrap left leg under. So one knee is stacking on top of the other. Let me give it a little wiggle. So we don't want to force the knee down into place, even if it's a little bit lifted. That is okay here. Just starting to open up and stretch out those hip flexors, staying here for 10 breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. The amount of ginger I put in that homemade remedy is unbelievable. Together we inhale and we exhale. Walk the hands back. From here, we're going to lean to the left-hand side to untangle the left leg. Untangle the right, and we immediately take it to the other side. So cross left leg on top of the right, maybe staying here, or lean to the right-hand side to wrap the right leg under. And once again, we forward fold. On your inhale, Coven, we lift the gaze. On your exhale, lean to the right-hand side as you untangle right leg. We untangle left, and from here, we're simply going to roll all the way back into the mat, reaching the arms up and overhead to take one final full body stretch. Oh, tighten your fingers, excuse me. Tighten your toes. Before we relax arms down by our side, slide the heels to the edges of our mat, coming into the final pose of Shavasana. Closing the eyes here and moving into the darkness. Despite gazing into the darkness, our eyes are open, especially after our shadow work, after creating our magic through movement. And just ending today's practice with stillness, with peace, embracing the thin barrier between the physical world and the spiritual world. Breath slow and easy. Body heavy and tired. Mind quiet and still. feeling gratitude for our connection to our physical world, feeling gratitude to the connection of the spiritual world, and feeling gratitude for having woken the witch within, for having opened our third eye, and for having a foot in either realm. And if you would like longer here in your Shavasana, I invite you to relax, to rest. If you're ready to move out with me, start to bring movement back to the physical body by wiggling the toes, moving the fingers. Before we bend into one knee, we bend into another, rolling to one side of our mat. We're going to take our hands underneath the head like a little pillow, just giving ourselves a moment to come back into the room. Before lifting the body into a comfortable seated position. Rolling shoulders away from the ears, hands to the knees. Give yourself a moment to come back into the physical space. Crown chakra still connected to the spiritual realm. Root chakra connected to the earthly realm. Heart is balanced between the both. And to close today's practice today, we take a beautiful breath in through the nose. And a slow breath out, bowing low, bringing the thumbs between the forehead. With love and with gratitude to the physical world for keeping us grounded. Bowing love and gratitude to the spiritual world for inspiring us. And bowing with love and gratitude to our heart that sits between both, balanced and open and awake. Thanking you so much today, On Coven, for allowing me to guide you through our yin and restorative practice to celebrate Samhain. I really hope you enjoyed this kind of mini delve into shadow work, as well as adding in our banishment ritual for today's practice. If your candle is still burning like mine, you're going to leave it burn all the way out, just so we can ensure that the spell is sealed. Or if you have it in your practice to extinguish by your breath, you are more than welcome to do so too. But I'd love to know how you got on, and I'd really love to know how you celebrated Samhain, what you did, your rituals, who you spent it with, what you did. This year, I'm super excited to say that I'll be celebrating Samhain in the Big Sur. Very excited, in California. So a lot of rituals and a lot of magic planned. But thanking you so much for joining me here today, and I cannot wait to see you on next month's flow. From the bottom of my heart, blessed be.